Hey, this is Doug from Convology, and in this video, we're going to go over the best caching plugin for Thrive Suite. So there are two that I recommend, and I want to jump right in and get into those without any delay. So the first one is going to be for just about any host that you're on. I recommend W3 Total Cache. It is completely free. You don't need the paid version, and you can get every setting that you need 100% free. And in fact, with Thrive Suite, it's super easy to use. So if you have Thrive Theme Builder, which is part of Thrive Suite, you go to Site Speed, and then you choose Minification and Caching. And then right here where it says W3 Total Cache, you click Install Now, and this will automatically install W3 Total Cache onto your website. Now, once that's complete, you just click Activate, and now your plugin is installed, and technically right out of the box, you're already going to see major improvements from having W3 Total Cache. However, Thrive takes it one step further and gives you a one-click installation for all of the settings that they recommend to help W3 Total Cache work even better with Thrive Suite. So all you have to do is click that button. It does give you a warning that it will override any other settings that you have, and then you just click Yes, configure the cache. And that's it. That's all you have to do. W3 Total Cache is now completely set up for Thrive Suite. Some of the benefits of W3 Total Cache are that it, one, works with pretty much any host that you have. Two, it's completely free. Three, it integrates seamlessly with Thrive Suite. And four, it also works really well with CDNs. Now, if you have a host like WPX Hosting, they actually have the ability to automatically install this caching plugin as well and configure it for their server settings. I recommend that you go ahead and just install it and then go ahead and still come in here to Thrive Suite and click this button anyway. Now, the other caching plugin that I recommend is called Breeze by Cloudways, and this is the caching plugin I recommend if you host your website on Cloudways, which is the fastest WordPress hosting that I have found, and it works fantastic with Thrive Suite. There's only a couple little settings that we need to configure and set up. Now, right out of the box, you're going to have some settings that should look pretty much just like I have here. You have obviously the caching system enabled, gzip compression, you can check that. Browser cache, of course, check that. That's a big part of it. Now you can leave this one unchecked. We don't want to cache logged in users. That's me right now in the WordPress admin section. I don't want to cache myself, so I'll leave that completely unchecked. Now this section here, minification, is an interesting one. This one can sometimes not play particularly nice with page builders like Thrive Architect and theme builders like Thrive Theme Builder. So on my website, I actually don't check any of these boxes. I probably could get a little more performance here if I were to minify my CSS or minify my JavaScript. However, if you do choose to minify these, like they recommend, maybe try it on a staging version of your website first to make sure it doesn't have problems. And then also you're going to want to add 2 exclusions to the minification list that Thrive recommends from their support documents. We'll go over that in a second. Now here under advanced option, you have the ability to never cache particular URLs. So if you have checkout pages, if you have dynamic pages that are part of, let's say, Thrive Apprentice, you'll want to add URLs here so that they're never cached. If you cache those URLs that belong to like Thrive Apprentice and checkout pages and things like that, you will run into some issues on occasion where they are cached and users have to log back in multiple times. So add your cart URL, add your checkout URL, and add Thrive Apprentice and any other URLs here that you just don't need to cache all the time. Add them to this exclusion list. Next, under exclude.js, this is going to exclude these JavaScript files from minification and grouping. So you can add these two right here, which are from Thrive. This is what they put in their documentation. Again, I don't use minification, so this isn't doing anything, but these do help ensure that the editor with Thrive is not disrupted when you minify JavaScript. So be sure to do that as well. Now under database, I really like this setting here. If you have a lot of files in your database, a lot of post revisions, trashed content, lots of comments and spam and trackbacks, all these things start to bloat up your database. So even before I recorded this video earlier today, I came in here and I had like 10,000 plus of things that I just didn't need. So I simply clicked optimize and it completely cleaned all that junk out. And I guess my site runs faster now. Now this section called CDN, this is an important section. If you don't know what a CDN is, definitely check out my video on the best CDN that I recommend with Thrive Suite. And you'll be able to check out BunnyNet, which is a CDN I recommend, and I'll go over a lot of the details on that. But for the settings that you're going to need to put into here for the CDN, you're going to first want to activate the CDN, then under CDN name, put 2 slashes, and then you're going to paste in your CDN name there. This is pretty simple. In my video where I go over BunnyNet, which is a CDN that I recommend, I'll show you exactly what you're going to put in there. I think these are all default options. So go ahead and just pretty much just activate it and then edit the CDN name. And you're all set, and your CDN will work perfectly with the plugin. Now, lastly, the Varnish tab. Varnish is a server cache that you can enable if you are on Cloudways. I'm not going to go over Varnish in this video. Just know that where these caching plugins are like browser cache for your site, Varnish is a server cache for your server. And it's just a lot more caching that makes your site really, really fast. So if you're going to use Varnish, just make sure that you come in here and you have enabled Varnish. And by default, Breeze with Cloudways is automatically set up to do everything that you need. And that's all you have to do. And click Save Changes, and you're done. So hopefully that was helpful for those of you that have no idea where to get started with installing caching plugins. They're a little intimidating at first, but if you just followed this video, installed either of these two options, depending on which host you're on, you should have no problems getting your site fully cached and ready to go and be making its way towards being much, much faster. Now, if you haven't already, there are a couple of companion videos that go along with this one. Be sure to check out the CDN that I recommend to make your site blazing fast for next to no cost at all. And also be sure to check out the best hosting for Thrive Suite. Hosting definitely makes the biggest difference with your site, far more than any caching plugin or CDN will do for your site speed. So that's going to do it for me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.